Welcome everyone tonight. I mean, Mr. Jim DiMartini anyway, and press. I'd like to welcome to the Newman City Council regular meeting, October 27th, 2015. The meeting will come to order. Would everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, and would you please remain standing for the invocation? Ready to begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please bow your head. Dear Lord, we thank you for bringing us here tonight. We ask that you give this council the wisdom and the strength to do the right things for the great city of Newman. In this we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Could we have roll call, please?
Councilmember Davis.
Present.
Graham.
Here.
Candia.
Here.
Day.
Here.
Mayor Martina.
Present. I'd like to report on our special closed session, and staff has been given instructions. That's item 5, conflict of interest. There being none. Next one is a good one. Ceremonial matters. Oath of office to newly appointed council member Murray Day. Let me get out of the way.
Oh, you're fine.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm just going to move this guy. If you will, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name, do solemnly swear
I, Murray Day, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
and will bear true faith and allegiance
and will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the State of California.
and the State of California.
That I take this obligation freely,
I take this obligation freely,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion,
that I will well and faithfully
that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
will discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, now we're back at full strength. Now we can really move. Okay. That's great. Welcome.
Thank you,
Murray.
Marge.
Okay. Next item would be items from the public, non-agenda items. I see one here tonight. No one's here tonight, so we'll move on to item 8, which is the consent calendar. The consent calendar. Waive all readings of ordinance and resolutions set by title. B, approval of warrants. C, approval of minutes of the October 13th, 2015 meeting.
I move that we approve the consent calendar as read.
I second.
Motion been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 5-0. 9 is a public hearing. And I guess, Chief, this is yours. Adopt resolution number 2015, next number, a resolution declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance number 95-4.
Evening, Mayor, council members. Before you tonight is another nuisance abatement. Abatement notices for property maintenance were sent to several properties in accordance with ordinance 95-4, chapter 2, title 8-2-3. In these letters, property owners are given the option to dispute any claims, which would be at a public hearing, which would be tonight. There is one address for you tonight to consider, 2155 Redwood Way. No physical impacts. I have 2 slides for you. You can see the property. And I'll be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Any questions for the council?
Yes. Aren't we getting just a little picky if this is all there is? This driveway, and that, I don't see this as a danger. It's ugly, but it's not, I don't think it's a danger.
They're not just danger properties, it's also complaints from neighborhoods about, neighbors. These are generally foreclosed homes that are bank-owned, that are doing nothing with the properties. As you can see, the tall weeds in front, neighbors complain on them. We send out letters for the banks to abate the properties and clean them up themselves, but they're not willing to do so.
I've seen a lot that were bad, but this just doesn't look that bad to me. That's why we're getting picky.
It's council's discretion whether or not meets your criteria or not. It's under the guidelines of this ordinance, this would meet the criteria.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the council? Being none, I bring it back to the council for direction.
I'll make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2015, next number, a resolution declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance.
We need a public hearing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is a public hearing, so I'm going to open up to the public. I'm going to close it, bring it back. I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That's all right. Make a motion, we adopt resolution number 2015, next number, a resolution declaring the existence of a public nuisance under ordinance 95-4.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried, 5-0. Next would be 10, regular business. A, adopt resolution number 2015, next number, a resolution of the City of Council of the City of Newman approving the financing of the outstanding loan with the Grand Lodge of California. I told this yours. Oh, Lou, I'm
Kind of
sorry.
long-winded on that one. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Evening, Mayor and council members. The city currently has an outstanding debt to the Grand Lodge of California for the acquisition of 938 Fresno Street, which is the building that we're currently in. We have been making all of our payments on time and are current on our loan. The loan matures next August, 10 months from now, and has a balloon payment of $587,000. The loan agreement that we signed allowed for the early repayment of the loan without penalties. We approached the firm of Brandis Tallman to see if they could provide us some refinancing options. Brandis Tallman is the firm that worked with us in refinancing our water and sewer bonds back in 2011 and 2012. They have provided us an opportunity to refinance our loan with the Grand Lodge, which will reduce our interest rate from 6% to 3.31%. The plan is to pay down our current loan to $500,000 and finance that amount over the next 5 years, after which time the building will be fully paid off. The funds for this come from the water, sewer, and impact fees. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Any questions from the council?
Yeah, so we'd be extending it for 4 years, is that correct? 3.5 years?
So we refinance it this month, it'll go 5 years from now, so 2020 will be all paid off.
Is
No,
there?
I'm sorry, Casey.
Go ahead.
Please.
I was going to ask, with the interest rate dropping, is there going to be an overall savings in that?
Yes, it's going to save us a little bit. The only
is it
difference between the two is that instead of making our huge cash payment
Right.
next August, we're extending it out. So if we had refinanced it and we're paying it off in the same time, yes, it would be savings, but we're going to be paying a little bit more just because we're extending it out. But on the plus side is it doesn't impact our water, sewer, and impact fees funds with having to write large checks.
Right.
$200,000 checks.
Yeah, I saw that the interest paid on the loan with it being extended is only $46,000, so that's not bad on $500,000 over 5 years. That's all I have.
Anybody- Any other comment? I'd just like to say, fantastic deal. I just think it's amazing. It wasn't so long ago we bought this wonderful building, and it is a wonderful building. And to think that 2020, December, is paid off, and then
It's a good
all the
deal.
revenue from downstairs becomes income. Does say a lot
Yeah.
for all the people that have made this possible.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much, Lou.
Well, thank you.
Okay. Regular business, B.
Motion to.
I'm-
Action.
Oops. Casey told me he wanted to get out of here fast, so I says, I said, okay, I'll bring it back to council for direction, I'm sorry.
I move that we adopt resolution next number 2015, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Newman approving the refinancing of the outstanding loan with the Grand Lodge of California.
I second that motion.
Okay, motion's been made and second. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries 5-0. Okay, 10B, City Council reorganization, selection of mayor pro tem, and committee assignments.
Thank you, Mayor Martina. Typically, this is an item that we do in January following an election, but now that we're back at full capacity and we won't have an election until November of 16, it's an appropriate time to fill some open slots that you have in your committee appointments, to look through the list to make sure that everybody is still wanting to do the committees that they're on. And then one of the other orders of business is because Mayor Pro Tem Martina became Mayor Martina, there is a Mayor Pro Tem position that is vacant at this point in time. As you know, the Mayor Pro Tem sits in for the mayor at meetings and or other events when the mayor is not available to attend. So typically the mayor has led this discussion. So we did include descriptions of all the committees that are on there, and we hope that we gave you enough information on those. We tried to include the dates and times of those meetings, so on those committees, so that way you can evaluate those and making sure that those meet with your schedule. So with that, I will turn it over to Mayor Martina.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up to the council for any nominations for Mayor Pro Tem.
I nominate Nick Candia.
I'd second that.
Motion's been made and second that Nick Candia be selected as the Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any comments or questions before we vote? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Congratulations. I'm going to put you on a bunch of committees now.
Already am.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess we can go right down the list.
Yeah. however you'd
Okay,
like to.
we have Mayor Pro Tem Stancog. We know that Nick is going to Candia and Martina. Now, the Alliance, I guess, Michael, you're an alternate?
I'm the alternate on that one, yes. Typically, usually the board meets, they usually have lunch at the Alliance Building at 10 10th Street in the Kirk Lindsay Center there. So if the member is not able to attend, I'm always free to make that meeting for them.
Okay, so,
If there's no objection, I would like to sit on
oh,
that
great,
position.
very good. Murray would be sitting on the Alliance, so he would, and I guess that would be great. Thank you. Thank you, Murray. Murray Day. Okay, item 4, LAFCO, City Selection Committee. I'm on that. City of Newman representative to LAFCO would be Councilmember Graham. Stanislaw Mayor Committee would be Martina. And 7 League of California City Executive Committee would be first and second alternate would be Martina and Candia. School liaison representatives would be Martina, Graham, and Candia. Infrastructure Committee, formerly WWTP Task Force, first and alternate would be Davis and Candia. And 10 would be EDAC, and that is Holland and Candia. 11, Crow's Landing Airfield, West Side Economic Development, first and alternate, Davis and Graham. And the next one is Tosca, and nobody's assigned to that at this time.
Again, if there's no objection, I would like to sit that one.
Okay, Murray is volunteered. Okay, item 13, Solid Waste Task Force. First and alternate would be Public Works Director and Public Works Superintendent. 14, Chamber of Commerce. First would be Candia and alternate would be Martina.
I don't think they even meet anymore.
They don't meet anymore,
No. No, I mean, keep me on there, but one
Yeah.
of these days they'll
just in case they,
kick it back in.
yeah. West Side Theater liaison, first Martina, alternate Candia. Public Safety Committee, Candia and Graham. Countrywide Disaster Council, first, and we have an alternate as Graham, so we don't have anyone as countywide district disaster council on this.
When I sat on the council in Waterford, I served as the representative to that committee. So without objection, I would like to take that seat. And I'd like to also be involved in the Oriston creek flood control, because that, I think, ties directly to the disaster planning.
Okay, does anyone have any objections?
Not at all.
Okay, there you go, Murray, you got it. You got number 17, you got number 20.
Okay.
18 is San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District Special City Selection Committee, and we've got Graham and the Public Works Director. Okay, West Side Healthcare Task Force, that's Martina and Candia. And with that, I think that completes all the assignments. And do we need a motion?
No.
That's great.
That was it.
That's great.
That was painless.
Okay. Good. That's good. Okay. Moving on, 11. Items from District 5, Stanislaus County, Mr. Jim D. Martine. What do you think, Jim?
I tell you, I like coming here a lot. Yeah, you guys are right on the ball. I think your city attorney is going to see the difference between Newman and Patterson here today.
That's not a fair comparison.
Good evening, Mayor Martina and members of the council. Also, I'd like to congratulate your new councilman, Murray Day.
Thank you, sir.
Glad to have you on board there. I just had a couple of things, mostly concerning the task force. As you know, we had the Biggest Loser contest way out on the 15th for the Patterson Primadoras had won 34 and a half pounds. So that was actually, no, it was 43 and a half pounds. And then the city of Patterson was a pound and a half less than that. So anyway, not a lot of weight loss this time here, but good competition. We hope to do it again next year. We're just trying to promote the importance of fitness, diet, and exercise. So we got a lot of press on it, and we had some fun doing it. So I hope to do it again next year. In the meantime, our art and essay contest is going on with the schools for about another week and a half. Contest entries are due on November 6th. This year's theme is Health is a Family Affair. Last year we had about 500 entries, so we would expect about the same this year. We plan to probably judge the entries about November 15th, and then put together our calendar for distribution to the schools, and then give out the awards and the calendar before the Christmas break. So our next task force meeting will be this Thursday at the Patterson Senior Center. Packets were sent out electronically this time for the first time ever, so I guess I haven't heard that anybody hadn't got it. We used to mail them out, and everybody seemed to be okay with electronically doing it, so it sure makes things a lot easier. And at our meeting, we're going to be discussing the grants that we're trying to get. We're applying for a grant at the San Joaquin Valley Health Foundation. And so we're putting that together now, and then we're also coming up with a policy to give small grants to different community groups for different projects. And then we'll have a report on the progress at the Family Resource Center that we're putting together in the city of Gustine. The whole county of Merced does not have a Family Resource Center in it. So here we're pretty well covered on the west side, as we have one here in Newman and in Patterson. The needs in Gustine are the same as here. So we have experience in dealing with that, and one of our directors runs the Center for Human Services, so we're putting that together for them. And we'll have a report on that this Thursday. Otherwise, everything is pretty quiet in the county. Harvest is over for everybody, so we're getting ready for the winter rains, which I hope will start tomorrow. And that's all I have this evening.
Does anybody have any questions for the supervisor?
No, thank you for coming. I appreciate how you kind of reach out to Gustine. They're kind of out there on their own at the end of the county. So
Yeah, well,
it's
we
nice.
put together the healthcare task force. We looked at the whole west side, and really does seem it's a good fit. And they're really nice people to work with, too. We're interested in, public health and the public benefit, and we really couldn't do something here in this area without including them. They're only 4 miles away. They've been a real pleasure to work with. Also, it was really without saying that we do appreciate everything Newman has done for the task force, is contributing financially to us, providing the West Side Theater, and just being all around helpful. They've been really good members, and hopefully it'll pay off for the community and the things that we do and the programs that we're generating.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, item 12 would be items from the city manager. Staff.
Thank you, Mayor Martina. I wanted to congratulate Councilmember Day for his appointment, and also Councilmember Candia for being Mayor Pro Tem. Just a couple of things on my list. We have 2 meetings left this calendar year. We have the first meeting in November. Because our second meeting in November is always the weekend of Thanksgiving, we assumed, I guess, that you were going to go ahead and cancel that, as we have done in the past 8 years. So is that an assumption that we should continue with? That meeting's going to be canceled? Mayor?
I'm sorry.
We're making the assumption that because your second council meeting in November is the same week of Thanksgiving, and you typically have not had a meeting that week, that we're going to go ahead and cancel that meeting?
Yeah, you've already canceled it, haven't you?
Yeah, we will. Okay. And then we have the...
I concur.
And the second meeting in December is canceled because that's Christmas week, so. So we have 2 meetings left. And
Before the end of the year.
Yep. Just this Friday, the fire chief position closes, the application process closes, so we'll go ahead and do that. We tentatively have the first round of interviews scheduled for November 17th. And we have fire, either division chiefs or, assistant chiefs or chiefs coming in from different cities to participate with that.
How's our application pool looking? How are we getting good results?
Yeah, we're right around half a dozen or less. So, I was talking to the city manager from Patterson because, as you know, Chief Hall left, and they've decided that there's just so many openings in fire right now that they're not even going to go out at this time. So it's just a challenging environment right now. So I haven't evaluated the ones that we have. So we'll take a look at those and see where we stand. But we're not going to rush it. We're going to make sure that we get the right person that's the right fit for the community. It's a very important position. The top 3 positions in any city are the mayor, the fire chief, and the police chief. Those are the 3 most important positions in any city. So we're not going to rush this. If it's not there, we'll wait a little bit and start over. So we'll take a look at that. Just a reminder, and I know the mayor plans to attend, myself, and I believe Ms. Ocasio plans to attend, but on November 16th, we'll be having the West Side Homeless Summit. That's going to be taking place, and we're going to be partnering with the city of Patterson, and that will be happening in the city of Patterson. So if any council members are interested, let me know, and we'll make sure that we get you the location. The time is going to be 6 p.m. And then lastly, just had a conversation with our city attorney, Ms. Norton, the city of Turlock, and a lot of information and a lot of items that are going on with respect to marijuana, dispensaries, commercial grow yards, private grow yards. There's a lot of things going on. So the city attorneys are all working together to try to do one consolidated plan throughout Stanislaus County. So there's just a lot of items that take place, and some places there's been reports of, not in our particular town, but people growing 99 plants in someone's backyard, and there could be public health and safety issues that go along with that, as well as potential for crime and some of the other things that might go along with that, as well as dispensaries and some of the things that are going on. So we're keeping up to date on that, and we'll bring back something to you as soon as Ms. Norton forwards it to us. So probably something to be right around the first of the year that you should be looking at. And then lastly, we'll be evaluating talked to the chief this week about evaluating our code enforcement ordinance. One of the things I think that the council struggles with sometimes is the process takes a long time. You got to write one letter, and then you got to wait a period of time, then you got to write another letter, and it just seems like it gets drawn out. So again, the chief is going to work with our city attorney and see if we can shorten those time frames up a little bit, and see if we can't move through that process a little bit faster. In the meantime, we'll continue to evaluate what constitutes a public nuisance and those kind of things as well. So we'll take a complete look at our code enforcement ordinance, and so maybe in the first quarter of next year, that might be something that might be coming before you, an updated code enforcement. I don't know the last time we've looked at it, so it may be an appropriate time to just go ahead and revamp our code enforcement ordinance and just make sure that we have good teeth on it, because that's something that we're really starting to get focused in on. So with that, I can answer any questions that you may have.
Michael, one question on, you're talking code enforcement. One of the things I think we used to get any home that had been reviewed as far as possibly a home that might have to be, cleaned up. We got a list of every house.
Yeah, we're working on resurrecting that for you.
That's all I have.
Okay.
Anyone else? Staff?
Evening, Mayor. Congratulations, Councilmember Day.
Thank you, sir.
Councilmember Candia, Pro Tem.
Thank you.
Today started construction on the new animal shelter, so the kennels are being built. They should be, he didn't give me an exact timeline, but I'm guessing probably a week to construct the actual kennels, and then probably another few days to construct the roofing system over the top of them, and then hopefully we can get them to move to the inside to revamp the existing kennels. And I did look at the abatement process that city manager was just talking about, and I believe we came to a different system than what our code actually says. The system can actually be sped up to a 10-day process, but I think for the homeowner's sake, I think we gave them a longer time. It must have been, because that's the way it's been done since I've been here. And I just found that out from my code enforcement officer today, that there's a 10-day process that we can go through. So I'll bring that back to you with full details on and write it up so you can have a look at it and see which way you choose to continue the current process, where we do the 3 letters or the 10-day process, which would not give them 3 letters. It would give them 1 letter and basically 1 chance to come to a council meeting. So I'll write that staff report up and get it to you the next couple meetings, if that'll be appropriate for you. Okay, that's all I have. Any questions I can answer?
Yeah, Chief, I'd like to know, sometimes we have repeat offenders as far as code enforcement. Is there anything, once a person had a violation and has another violation, is there any teeth in it where we can make that person respond, maybe financially or something, or is that not part of the code? Or
They are responsible financially. A lien is put on the property, and they're billed for our time to go out there and clean it up. But that is something, if the council wishes to add to maybe a new, as city manager instructed, a new plan or a new ordinance, we can definitely add that type of language in there.
I just wonder how you get people's attention.
You know, the majority of these problems are bank-owned homes, and I don't think we're going to get their attention anyway, because they just don't care, because basically they just pass it off to the next probably home buyer, I would assume. So I don't know necessarily that we're going to get their attention. Generally, the ones that do clean up are the ones that are occupied, and by the time we give them a letter, they they take care of the problem. Those are the ones that you never see come before you in the council meetings. The other ones are generally vacant homes that are bank-owned. So I don't think we're going to have any teeth with the bank. They've never responded back to any of our letters that I'm aware of. So it kind of is what it is.
Stephanie?
I'd like to echo the chief's sentiments. Welcome to the council, Councilmember Day, and congratulations, Mayor Pro Tem Candia. Also wanted to let the council know that we've already initiated the housing element update. The housing inventory was completed last weekend, and we hope to have a preliminary draft of the document by late December, early January. So we're looking forward to getting that process going and bringing it back to you. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Stephanie? Lou, man with all the money.
There are two main reports that are filed each year with California State. They're Finance Department files. The State Controls Report and the Streets Report, both of those as of yesterday have been filed. We're currently working with our auditors to complete the financial statements, which are the blue books you get at the end of each year. We should have those completed by the end of November and have them printed up. We'd like to get them to you the beginning of December and have a final presentation at the first meeting in December.
Thank you. Any questions for our financial director?
Yeah. Again, congratulations, Councilor Day and Candia. As you saw the memorandum, so the city of Newman has completed the first solar project recently. So our savings started already. So I can answer to any question you may have.
I have none, it looks good.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's all I have.
Congratulations.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
Excellent.
Yeah, under city manager's direction, and we work
City
with,
manager direction.
and we worked with the finance director.
Yeah, you need his money.
Yeah, they helped a lot. Yeah.
It's called a team effort.
Yes, teamwork. Thanks.
Good, looks good, thank you.
Good. I had a couple questions. I know we had talked about, we had a well on the north end of the town, and that the chromium-6 was
Yes.
up around 17 parts per billion. And I was just wondering if you have a follow-up report on that.
Yes, there was a requirement as a follow-up. October 14th, the city of Newman submitted corrective action plan, which includes a short-term plan and long-term plan. The state is still reviewing the plans. So far, there's no any specific comments on it. So at this point, we have shut off the well number 5, of which the chromium-6 MCL exceeded the 10 ppb. So that means at this point, we are not distributing any water from well number 5, because well number 5 was used only as a backup, just in case in summertime the demand was hit the peak, and then the well number 5 was kicked in. But at this time, our demand is reduced significantly. There's no reason to turn on the well number 5. So that means there's no well to exceed the chromium-6 MCL at this point.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And let's see, from the council members, Casey?
Congratulations, Councilmember Day and Pro Tem Kindia on your new spots. I don't have anything. Michael, could you add me to the list for your homeless thing? I'd like to try to make it, if I can work out with my work schedule.
That's all. That's great.
Welcome, Murray,
Thank you.
and congratulations,
Thank you.
Mr. Pro Tem Candia. And that's all I have.
Thank you very much.
It's my pleasure to be here to serve with this council. As I indicated before, I've watched you guys in action for a while, and I think it's going to be a very good relationship, and I'll enjoy working with you. Thank you again, and congratulations, Nick.
Thanks, Murray. I just got one thing. Going in Nob Hill, of course, I always take my chances, and last weekend wasn't any different, but I got cornered a couple different times with people saying that we need to, so it falls right into the code enforcement thing. There are some people that are dissatisfied the way
things are looking, so. I told them I would bring it up at the council meeting, and one comment that one person made, I didn't agree with them, but I'm gonna bring it up. They said, if I wanted to live in Modesto, I would. So, take that for what it's worth.
Well, maybe we can get some money for him to move to Modesto.
But anyway, so, yeah.
I think one thing that would be helpful for staff is when people have these comments for you to ask them.
I'm gonna give us the specifics there.
Well, not only that, or they don't have to give specific places, but is it private property or is it public property
Right.
that they're having a lot of the issues with? One of the things we're also looking at is November seems to be a time that people like to put their yard waste out in the front of the street. That doesn't start till November. So we're going to create a process by which we can start citing those people, giving them a specific amount of time to pick it up, or we're going to pick it up, or we're going to bill you for it. That contributes to what you're talking about, is when there's a pile of brush and it's been sitting in front of somebody's house for 10 days, and so we're creating a process to deal with things like that. So anytime you can get examples, feel free to share them with myself and with the chief, so we can make sure that we get back in when we go back and evaluate our current code enforcement program and try to address the concerns of the community as well as the concerns of the council. We want to make sure that all the components are in there, so we don't have to go back and do it again.
One comment, if I may. I'd like to attend the homeless conference.
Sure.
Thank you.
Put my name on there too, I'll see if I can work that in there.
It's gonna be,
Yeah,
it's
the
gonna be
whole
good.
freaking Council.
Mayor,
Anyway,
Mayor,
I'm sorry.
can I jump in one more time, too?
Absolutely. It's called a do-over.
Mike, I was curious, is there any plan to replace trees and bushes, plants that along the Driscoll Road? There's a lot missing or being pulled out. I know they're doing a lot of cleanup there.
Yeah, that's part of the cleanup process. You're
Right.
going to actually see some of the trees have a green mark on them. Those
Absolutely.
trees have been identified for removal, and then we'll get back into it. One of the other things that we were able to negotiate the last time SEM was here, they owe us 100 trees. So we're getting some of those trees and doing some plantings and some other things that go along with that.
All right, so those
Some of
are-
the color probably won't be brought back to the spring.
Right.
But yeah, we'll be working on eradicating and pruning the trees and getting rid of some of the dying trees right there on Driscoll.
But the ones that are going to be pulled will be replaced or potentially?
Yes,
replaced?
they'll have to be replaced, correct.
I'll say, thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Anyone else?
That's it.
Well, of course, the number one thing I have on my list is congratulations, Murray.
Thank you, sir.
And it's a pleasure to have you on the council, someone that's up and running and knows the working of the council and everything, so it's a pleasure, thank you. And of course, Nick, congratulations to you, as Mayor Pro Tem. Just let you know, I talked about bell ringers, and that's still on my agenda, so sometime in December, I would like to find a date, a Saturday or something like that, that we could participate in and ring the bells. And the only other thing I have, I'm going to attend the homeless in Patterson. Of course, I was originally going to attend it, but you know, it seems like in the press and every place else, there's been so much on homelessness. It's like, I was listening to San Francisco Station yesterday, and they're talking about how bad it is. They have to go in every day and clean up, steam clean up and shovel. I mean, and they take encampments and sterilize them, and, you know, so they're clean. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, so it's a big concern, but my concern is, and I'll get off my soapbox, there's homelessness and there's vagrancy. Now, that's the difference, in my opinion. When a person is a vagrant and he's out there panhandling and trying to get money out of you, he no longer is a homeless person to me. He's somebody else causing problems. But anyway, I think it's great that we're all going to be at the meeting, and I think that group, as Stephanie will tell you, they know what they're doing. I mean, they have a lot of good information for us, so it'll be a great meeting to attend. I mean, it's just about. And with that, I'll ask for adjournment.
I have a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, before you do. How many are actually homeless in Newman?
7.
That's a good question.
7 was the last count.
How many?
7 was the last count in January.
Who counted?
The Family Resource Center. There's typically every January, there's a homeless documentation day, so all the cities in the county go out. It's hard, obviously, the winter time, there's a lot of people that take shelter and you don't see them, either in abandoned houses or with a family member in a garage or
Well, if they're in an
something.
abandoned house, they're not homeless.
Depending on the definition,
Well,
I'm sure.
by definition, if they have a roof over their head. I'm sorry.
7 was the count last time we checked. There was discussions of potentially increasing to maybe 2 or 3 times a year to do like a spot count, but that hasn't been formally organized yet.
Maybe, Chief, your estimation at any given point in time?
I would estimate 4. About 4 is what we deal with regularly, and out of the 7, I know 1 passed away over the summertime.
Yeah.
Um, So 1 is kind of, he floats in and out, so I would say about 4 regular that we have.
There's a few of them that hang out behind the alley downtown, behind the barber shop.
And
That's usually the spot right there.
yeah, mainly 1 uses that for the most part.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone, coming out tonight, and could I ask for adjournment?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
A second.
Motion made second, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned.